we got the 900S 2016 model. We're gonna be changing out the windshield. As you can see, all the mud and everything on this one. It works for what it does, but it keeps like a draft coming in the back, and when it gets wet and dirty and all that kind of stuff, it's really hard to see, especially at night with glare, unless you have a windshield wiper. But on this one right here, we don't, and it needs to be upgraded. And this is going to be sponsored by A&UTV PRO, Amazon store. They sent me the windshield. We're going to put it on and go through the whole process of installing it. It's a nice windshield, but all the mud and everything, like I said, it's just hard to get all the stuff off of it when you're riding, especially at nighttime. It just kills you with the glare. This one's been good, but like I said, it's time to upgrade. We're going to take this one off and then start installing the next one. All right, so this is what comes with the package here, all the hardware. You got some brackets and mounts here. A lot of these are for the roll cage mounts, bag of screws, rubber gaskets for the edge of the windows, like I said, the rods, and then instructions. I'm about to go through all this, look at the instructions, and get started on it. So we'll go ahead and get everything started. Get started on the bottom windshield and then the top. And there it shows you how to do the mounts from the back. So orientation of the window, the notches face downwards. Your catch is going to go here in the middle, and then the brackets like this are going to be facing downwards. We're going to have to take the bolts out of the roll cage here. They're on that side and this side. We're going to attach them with new hardware they come with to hold this down right here. To take the original bolts off is going to be a 15 millimeter. And the new hardware is going to be the long bolts with the lock nuts on each side. There's going to be 2 on that side and 2 on this side. Before you put the windshield on, make sure the rear bottom gasket goes on the bottom of the window. Make sure you put that on before you bolt it on. Other way. Lock there. Upside down. Make sure you put your the catch for the windshield lock on first, because once you go put it on there, you won't be able to get to the bottom nuts. You grab that camera. Alright, so when you're putting these bolts on like this, it's easier to slip your hand through here, like so. And it might take a couple of times, but get your hands right up in there and then put it on your hand and then twist it on. And then you can fit a wrench up there to put it on to tighten everything up. This is what it's going to look like once you have these installed. And all that up there. When you're tightening these up, it's going to be a 14 millimeter and a 17 millimeter socket. And like I said, leave it, the brackets loose. That way you can slide it, and it's easier to get the wrench in here so you can tighten up the bolts. And then we'll tighten this down once we get everything centered up. The best way to getting it sorted out is to go ahead and get your bracketry for your window and go ahead and get it mounted on here. Now it's snug, and I'm going to have to loosen up, try to slide it, get everything lined up. And it's hard to see in the directions. This bracket actually goes on here. That's why there's only one bolt that comes in here, and it has a spacer built onto it. So this can move with the windshield. So this is how the setup goes. I got to add the bottom one too, but go ahead and get these on your roll cage. They're tight, and that's the best way. Go ahead and try to get it lined up with the windshield. You have to loosen it up, but it's the best way to get the windshield on there and the brackets. You can't. It's kind of aggravating. So like this, and make sure this bracket is on this one. Then we got one more bracket that goes down here that catches the bottom side of this cylinder. All right, so when you're adding the bracket onto the strut there, make sure you use the lock nut on that side. Keep it kind of loose. And the best way that we got this on is you're going to add the brackets and then put the windshield on afterwards and try to get it all evened up. And we're still got to get the bracket on here. Then we'll put the weather stripping across there. All right, so this is the final result of the window. It come out pretty good. It's a little aggravating on a few things, but the best way to start it and get it done would be putting your brackets on first, building this makeup here, And then I put the latch on last, and I got this side and put it on. And then you kind of leave it a little loose so you can kind of just bump it and get it leveled out with everything. The latch in here, you just kind of pop it right up and let it go, and it folds right out. And you got about 90-degree angle, as you can see there. It's about 90 degrees out, so a lot of room for air to come through, or if it's dirty you can pop it right up and see. So it's kind of cool for trail riding. And then you just pull it right back down and you lock it up first. And this was kind of something we had to mess with too. We had to adjust this here so we could get the latch to line up where it would pop in and lock. So you got to adjust these and then tighten them up. So keep that in mind. I kept pretty much everything loose, and that's what you need to do to get it all lined up. Then once you get everything finally where it's at and fitting, like, and also when you pop this, it come right up that time. So maybe just me work then some, but leave everything loose so you can tighten it up later after you get everything where it lines up good, and make sure everything's working. So that's my final thoughts and points on all the things that we had to go through to get it done. And also, when we did put these on, now the doors don't line up. We got to readjust it. So anytime you loosen these bolts up, it messes with the doors. You have to get everything realigned. So keep that in mind. But I appreciate y'all watching. Like and subscribing like always. Have a great day.